Hi, today we'll talk about bread. I will explain the health benefits and negative side of eating bread, lavash, wraps and pita bread. You already know that when you want to lose weight, people normally exclude bread and wraps, pita bread, lavash from the diet because you think this food makes you fat and it's high in calories. That's correct in some ways, and that's because some of the bread have a high glycemic index, means it converts into fat very quickly. I will explain in a few seconds what bread is healthier for you and what I personally eat, so stay with me. Bread is carbohydrates, and carbohydrates feeds our brain and erythrocytes, as well as give us energy to move, exercise and generally be active. Let's look at the flour that uses to make bread and wraps that have gluten and wheat. White or brown flour contains phytic acid that prevents absorption of nutrients and vitamins, and that's also because of gluten that is in the bread too. It's actually not that bad as it sounds, because lots of food we combine prevents absorption of some sort of nutrients and minerals. You cannot be perfect all the time and know what food to eat to make sure you absorb everything. It's all complicated. You need to know biochemistry to be perfect, what food to combine with what. Just enjoy food and watch your calorie intake. Okay, let's get back to gluten and wheat. Not all people can digest gluten and wheat, and some people have to avoid these two as they give them indigestion, discomfort, and they just cannot have gluten and wheat products. They may have gluten and wheat intolerance or allergies. In this case, they have to buy gluten wheat-free bread and food. They don't have a choice. In most gluten-free, wheat-free products have high sugar content as well as fat. If you buy gluten-free and wheat-free product believing they're healthy, then you could be so wrong here. They are healthy, yes, but companies that produce this product add too much sugar and fat to make up for gluten and wheat to taste as good as normal bread. That's why I suggest you always check the labels of how much fat and sugar this particular product have. I always talked in the past that gluten-free bread is the best choice until I learned more about biochemistry and human physiology. I don't say that I was wrong 100%, but I was slightly wrong, and I will tell you why. Not all bread is bad, they all have health benefits. Even white bread, as long as it's low calories and you don't eat just bread on its own all day, every day in a large amount. Okay, if you cannot tolerate gluten and wheat, then you have to buy gluten and wheat-free bread, food. You don't have a choice, as I said. But again, what sugar, fats, always check labels. But if you can eat normal bread, then don't buy strictly gluten and wheat-free product. And believe that gluten and wheat causes inflammation, that's a bit silly. It's only for those who already have intolerances or allergies to gluten and wheat, and it doesn't destroy your joints and gut like some resources I read. It only destroys your gut if you already have celiac, diverticulosis, IBS or Crohn's disease. I hope this is clear. Now let's look at this. take normal one slice bread with seeds and nuts, obviously you think it's healthier than white bread. But then let's compare calories. Bread on the left is a whole wheat bread with seeds and nuts, contains approximately 140 to 170 calories per slice. And you normally will have 2 slices. So the lowest calorie you will have for 2 slices could vary from 280 calories to 340 calories per 2 slices of bread. Then look at the bread on the right side. Here's the bread from 50 calories to 63 calories. So per 2 slices of bread, you will have approximately 100 to 120 calories per 2 slices. Most wraps, 170 to 230 calories. Yes, sometimes it varies. Some wraps can be 270 calories per 1 wrap. I mean the wraps you can buy in food stores like Tesco, Sainsbury, Co-op, M&S and like these stores. You also can find mini wraps that have 60 calories in the same section, but they are too small. They're literally tiny. And nutritiously, they are not as great as Joseph wrap or flat out bread, but it's better than high calorie wrap anyway. You see yourself, it's much less calorie on the right hand side than bread and wraps that on the left hand side. Remember, at the end of the day, all calories add up. More you consume, the quicker you will gain weight. It doesn't matter sometimes if it's healthy or not. Most food is healthy, and even unhealthy food you will have, I can find some health benefits too. It's hard to believe, but unfortunately it's so true. And I can give you one example. Okay. If you think eating healthy will not make you put on weight, I'm afraid you will be disappointed. You probably already eat healthy and struggle to lose weight, and that's because you might consume too much healthy fats or too much of healthy food that is high calorie dense food. For example, nuts are healthy and they can be very crucial for our nervous system. But if we eat just a handful of nuts every day on top of the other high calorie healthy meals, you obviously are going to put on weight. You will gain fat at the end of the day. And it doesn't matter what kind of fat you will gain, healthy or not. It's still fat you don't want to have. Then you are not happy that you put on weight, and that's the end result. So now you wonder, do I eat bread? What kind of bread do I eat? And how much of bread do I eat? Okay, I do eat bread, and I do eat bread with gluten and wheat, and I do eat bread without gluten and wheat. It depends on the calorie contents. I love French toast with my egg whites and skinny syrup or low-calorie syrup, and I use low-calorie bread, sometimes white bread and sometimes brown bread, and it's always low calories, under 60 calories per slice. The same applies to wraps. I like wraps too, pita bread and lavash. I buy from a low-carb store or low-carb mega store. Yeah, I'm not sponsored by them, by the way. The wraps I buy are delicious and decent size. They're huge. Yeah, they are low in calories and high fiber with reduced carbs. I'm not against carbohydrates, as we do need carbs, but if I can reduce carbohydrates with added more fiber, and if it also have great taste and have fewer calories, and it will keep me full and satisfy my taste bud, and I won't put on weight, it's all what we all want, isn't it? Yes, exactly. It ticks all the boxes nutritiously. I buy Joseph wraps and flat out wraps. I also know that some people buy sprouted bread and wraps, like they're called Ezekiel, something like this, Ezekiel brand. I'll probably put the picture up here. Sprouted bread doesn't have phytic acid. It also contains less gluten and low in glycemic index. That's why some people prefer this kind of bread and wraps. People say, I don't eat bread because it spikes insulin. Anything you eat will spike insulin, and that is how our organs works. You have to be worried if it doesn't. On that note, whole wheat or white bread will spike insulin exactly the same way. Insulin releases after 1 minute. It doesn't matter what you eat or drink, you will still have insulin unless you have type 1 diabetes. Whole wheat will not spike insulin in the same way as the white bread, only if you make this flour by yourself and grind it yourself with a stone and bake it straight away. So the flour not stays on the shelf for days and weeks and months. Only this way you preserve nutrients, and it will be slightly healthier than its other bread. But it's a hard work, and it's a lot of work you have to do to make this bread from start to finish. You want to have preservative, like manufacturers add to last the bread longer. You can do this for extra health benefits, but really, it's just too long. Okay, white bread or brown bread. It is more marketing that brown bread is healthier. If it has more than 60 calories per slice or 170 calories per wrap, then even if it's healthy, it won't benefit you. If you eat these calories all the time, uncontrollably, it won't benefit you. You'll gain weight. But if you switch to low-calorie bread, you will gain the same health benefits and you will feel full with fewer calories, and by the end of the week, month, you will notice your waist got smaller. So, who wins? The person eating low-calorie bread or high-calorie bread? The answer is, of course, obvious. Who's going to lose weight? I can keep talking about pros and cons of eating bread or not. The one thing I know for sure, it's going to be way more pros than cons. You can ruin the health benefits of the bread if you deep fry or burn the toast. That's the only two things I can think of ruining bread. Even my kids laugh, yeah. Don't remove bread from your diet. Please don't. Find low-calorie bread wraps with low fat, low sugar and high fiber. If you do this, you win. Watch how many calories you eat a day. You cannot break the rules of thermodynamics. No one did, and if someone tried, they probably gained weight and probably sad, disappointed, like some of the people did when they're trying to break the thermodynamic. It's very simple. You eat more than you burn, you gain weight. You eat less than you burn, you lose weight. Calories in, calories out. I didn't believe this before, but with a try and error, I realized that's true. It's quite simple. That's why exercises is handy. You still can enjoy your favorite food, but you have to exercise. But don't eat more than you burn. I see people tend to do this. Go to the gym and double what they normally eat, and then wonder why they're not losing weight and get bulky, especially women. And then fed up of the gym and stop going and blaming that the gym made them fat and bulky, which is in fact they just double the amount of food because they think they're burning everything in the gym. You cannot burn 1000 calories in the gym unless you are a freak and train like 2 hours. Stop overeating and put the fork down when you feel full, like Greg Doucette said. Food is there, it's not going to go anywhere, so bear this in mind. In conclusion, I do eat bread and wraps every day, 1 or 2 wraps, and I could have 2 slices of bread for my French toast. I don't avoid bread, and you shouldn't too. There are lots of health benefits, psychologically and physiologically on a cellular level. Okay, that's a very long video. Thank you for watching this video. I hope I explained clearly about bread, wraps, pita bread, seeded bread, and healthy bread and unhealthy bread, and flour with gluten, without gluten, with wheat, without wheat, and so on. Okay, don't forget to press like and subscribe to my channel, my new channel, and please welcome to share this information on your Facebook and Instagram. I would appreciate. Also, I would welcome any suggestion regarding theme or content for future video. Thank you very much. Bye.